Today, I want to talk to you about not letting people push you around. Now, the reason I bring this up today is because it's something I've been having a problem with recently. There's a balance I've been considering a lot recently, is the balance between being an asshole, being a dick to someone, or not letting them push you around. For example, right now, there was someone in my driveway and I couldn't come in, and I didn't know who it was. I don't own the place, so I ended up just parking in the street because I didn't want to start something with some person I didn't even know. But now my car is parked in the street. I'm sitting here, the guy even left, and I'm like, do I go back? Do I awkwardly go pull my car in now? Like, where's the balance between, am I letting people push me around? You know, when does that start? Am I being too nice that it gets to the point that you're just letting people push you around? Like, I bring this up in a video because I would like you to consider it. I'm sure we've all felt like this at times. You felt like people take advantage of you. I think that's why people are mean. That's why people are dicks, because they feel like when they're nice, they get taken advantage of. When you're a child, when you're innocent, when you're free, when you're caring and loving and you want to be nice and helpful to people, it's sad. It's a really sad time, because that's the time we get taken advantage of the most. That's when people really ruin us and they really mess up our whole lives, because they do things or they take advantage of us in ways that we didn't understand them, and then years later you're still contemplating and thinking about it and you can't even let it go, how you let someone do that to you, or how you did that, or whatever it was, the situation. So it's got me a lot thinking about this, and I do want to say this for the people out there who are struggling with this, who know where I'm coming from and who know what I'm talking about. Maybe sometimes you have to be a little mean. There's a technique, they call it push and pull. Let me give you a concept, a technique to use. Pull, that's more of, I would believe that's more of like when you're trying to be nice to someone, you're trying to be friendly, like you're having a conversation with someone, you pull them in. And push is maybe you give them a slight smirk, a slight insult. And the idea is, if you're someone who's too pushy, too mean, too aggressive, too angry, unfriendly with people, you want to try to pull a little bit and be a little bit nicer. And when you're too nice, you're too friendly, and people start taking advantage of you, you want to push a little bit. It's kind of a balance. We're getting into, maybe somebody's out there is like, oh, I just want to be myself. You might be thinking something somewhere along those lines. But the idea of doing the push and pull technique, is to actually be able to be yourself, not to just be this overly nice, overly angry person, but to be able to find the balance. If you're too nice, try pushing a little bit. You don't have to be so mean, you don't have to be so aggressive, but every few compliments, you give some kind of a smirk, some kind of a sly remark, something like clever you try to slip in there. And if you're too mean, well, you got to try being a little bit nicer. The idea is to find a balance, because neither way works. Everything in life is about finding the balance. It's about paradoxes. It's about knowing both ends of the spectrum and then getting to the middle point. For the sake of this video, one end of the spectrum is being too nice. The other end of the spectrum is you're too mean. And the idea is to try to find the balance, because you don't want to be too nice and then you let people push you around, and you don't want to be too mean. For obvious reasons. Why would you want to be mean to everyone? Maybe you got a good reason to be mean to everyone, but stop doing that. You don't need to be mean. You can be a little nice. Not everyone's trying to hurt you. You don't want to be stuck in this mind frame, though, too, that everyone is against you. It is a horrible mind frame to have. If you're stuck in this mindset that everyone's against you, it's always a competition. For you to win, someone else has to lose. It's gonna drain you of so much mental energy to be always in competition with someone. It doesn't mean, though, the other end of the spectrum now, and it's much easier, is to believe that you're working together with everyone. If you just look at everyone like they're your friends, they're on your side, they're on your team, you're working together with them, it makes life a lot easier to go through. Now, I'm not telling you to let people take advantage of you on this other end of the spectrum. It comes again to the balance. You want to look at people like they're there to help you, like everyone's your friend. We're all connected. We're all here together. We're all trying to get through our day. But then, when you have the moment you feel like someone's trying to take advantage of you, don't be afraid to push it a little bit. You have to have boundaries for yourself. Any man, any woman, you gotta have boundaries. This is really important. If you want to be happy, you want to be successful, you want to really, feel good about yourself and not let people put you down, try to set up boundaries for yourself. Have what it's off limits. You don't want anyone to talk about it or to address it. I mean, don't go overboard that you don't want anyone to tell you the truth and be honest with you. You don't want to be someone who's just walking around and everyone's just like a yes man and just agreeing with everything you say when you might actually be wrong about something. But do have your things that are off limits, is going too far, that there's someone's trying to push you too much and it makes you too uncomfortable and you don't want them to bring it up. It could be something simple like I don't know, maybe you're overweight. You're overweight, you accept you're overweight, and you're dieting, you're exercising, you're trying to deal with it, but you don't want people to just be reminding you on the street. You don't want someone on the street be like, hey, you're fat. That's just, you set your boundaries. I'm giving an example. It's whatever you think it should be. There's certain things in your life that you will that you need to just consider are off limits, is going too far. If it's easier when you come look at it at this way, like someone has crossed one of your boundaries, then it doesn't feel like you're trying to be a dick. Then you can actually still feel like you're trying to be the nice person. You can just be like, hey, this thing you did, I'm just being really general because it could really be anything, but it made me feel this kind of way. It upsets me. I don't like that. You talk to this person differently and then you come to me and you talk down to me. That's not okay. That's not right. You're going to talk to everyone the same. You're going to talk to me with respect. You want to speak with me, you speak with me respect. Or you walk away or I walk away. That's it. It's that simple. Set up boundaries for yourself. Don't let people push you over. Remember, use push and pull. If you're too nice, don't be afraid to push a little bit. Maybe you have to try to play around with being a little bit mean, but there's a balance because you don't want people to take advantage of you. And it's really kind of hard, honestly, to think that people will take advantage of you, but they will. So you might need to push a little bit. If you're too mean, pull a little bit back in. Try to be a little bit nicer and set up boundaries for yourself. Have your boundaries, things that are off limits, things that aren't okay. You don't want people to be because you don't want people to bring you down. You want to be a positive, happy person. I mean, everyone wants to be positive, happy, joyful, loving person, even if they can't admit that to themselves. They want to be happy. So you got to have your things that are not okay to bring up because they make you feel bad in a way. I mean, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself and just tell no one to tell you the truth, because you do need criticism. You do need truth in your life. Everyone has problems. They got to address them. And addressing them, admitting them is the first step to fixing them. But don't be afraid to set up boundaries and tell people, you crossed one of my boundaries. This isn't okay the way you're treating me. Say it however you want to say it. Tell them that they've gone too far and that you're trying to be nice. Maybe you would like to continue your conversation with them, but they can't they can't do whatever they're doing. Maybe you have a friend that likes to pick on you, likes to make fun of you. It could be your own friends. Maybe you don't like the way they talk to you sometimes. They pick on you. Maybe they like to make fun of you. I mean, if someone's making fun of you, they're probably insecure about themselves. I mean, honestly, anything anyone calls you, they probably thought that same thing about themselves first. If someone said, hey, you're ugly, that person probably thinks that they're ugly. Really, that's where shame comes from. They think that they're the one who's ugly or fat or insecure, whatever it is their problem is. I'm just using general ones. It could really be about anything. And then they're like, you're the one who's ugly. You're the one who's fat. Because what they're trying to say to themselves is, I'm not ugly. I'm not fat. No. Look, that person is. Him. Not me. Not me. But it has nothing to do with you. The way anyone talks to you, this is probably something really powerful too to understand. The way anyone talks to you, addresses you, says anything to you has nothing to do with you. You can be walking down the street and you see a homeless person, dirty, bummy, raggedy clothes, and you can look at that person and be like, oh, I feel bad for that person. I want to help them. I want to help homeless people. Or you could be some rich snob walking by who's overweight and be like, ugh, why is there a homeless person on my street? Get out of here, homeless person. It's really, It's the same person. Who he is, who she is, how old they are, what they look like, their nationality, their race, has nothing to do with how you talk to them. It has everything to do with you. When it's all your perspective, or it's also that person's perspective too, for what I was going at my point here. If someone says something to you, it's their perspective, it's their point, and it has everything to do with them. If anyone's trying to bring you down, what that means is that they're down. They're down, and they look at you like you're over here, and they're trying to bring you more down because they don't know how to go up. They can't go up. All they know how to do is bring other people down to their level, so at least they can feel like they're not alone at the bottom. Don't go to the bottom. You don't want to be there. We're all going to the top. We're gonna go up. You don't need to be this person who's like, I'm down here, let me get you down here so you can be with me. You also don't need to be this person who's like, I'm up here, you're down there. That's the reverse. You don't want to do that either. What you really want is we're all up here. We're all here. We're all together. This is all us. We're together. We're working together on this. I'm my own person, you're your own person. We need to respect each other. You have your boundaries, I have mine. We don't cross each other's boundaries, and we'll live together in peace. If you cross one of my boundaries, either I'm gonna leave or you're gonna leave. Done.